It's a perfect segue for me. So timeline of the windows at the football tower. July of 2017 is when we first came to the board indicating dry rot. Windows were falling apart. The fall of 2018, a window actually blew out, was shattered, was left completely open for a couple weeks. When it was repaired, I got pictures. When it was repaired from the inside completely incorrectly. It sat like that for the entire winter. When they finally did do the plexiglass, which is still there, there's gaps that you can stick fingers through. So if we're truly concerned about water getting in, we might want to fix that. We submitted a quote for $12,000 to replace all the windows in the tower. You guys came back and decided to spend $80-something hundred on a structural engineer. In that time, you guys have replaced at least two buildings, the windows in two buildings, and have not had the need for a structural engineer. Why at the last meeting, after Ed's motion for Passion to come in, is all of a sudden the structural engineer, his motion was just for Passion. It was voted on, it was approved. I'm confused on why the WSC, I think it is even involved. Why don't we just take that report, show it to Passion, show it to the other contractors, and figure it out? That's all I got.
Well, to address your timeline, it's actually been an issue for the township historically, even longer than that. We've actually had feedback from the Stallions. They thought the roofs were leaking. We replaced the roof. There's a history of water infiltration and the peeling and the spalling of the interior walls, and various boards have tried to come up with solutions. I've given numerous reports to the board over time, brought the issue back even before you came back. The issue was remanded to committee at one time and tabled indefinitely for 2 years. There's a history there. I just happen to be a little bit more refreshed on it because we have received a couple FOIAs, and looking back over minutes in history, it's pretty amazing. I think we're putting Band-Aids on the problem. Regarding other windows being replaced, yes, just like the windows were replaced here, the windows were actually deteriorating, but they weren't leaking in between the walls, and there weren't additional problems as there are, has been told to me, and I'm not a contractor or a professional, so I can only go with what the professionals tell us in those cases, and these were trying to avoid that issue. Yes, you did bring forth a $12,000 proposal, or whatever it was, close to that, from a company to replace the windows. And the proposal was for just standard replacement and standard install. There was nothing addressing any of the water issues or any specialty water infiltration issues that I'm being told need to be addressed. I'm not sure if it was a prevailing wage company. I'm not sure if they were met the requirements of working for a government. It was your idea to go and get the proposal, and it's possible that, you know, if the board chooses to go out to bid, you know, that company could come back in and bid. But there needs to be a scope of work, and I believe the board has explored this for several months now. Well, and I understand you and me too, wanting to get these problems addressed and solved. But apparently our exploration has indicated that it isn't simply a matter of replacing the windows, although I think we all acknowledge the fact that a part of this will be to replace the windows. But again, when you talk about why there was a structural engineer, and I'd appreciate it if we don't have yelling out from the audience, okay? I just would like to finish what I'm saying, okay? This is not all of a sudden a structural engineer at the October 7th meeting. This board has then received proposals, has approved a structural engineer. This isn't something new that just happened in October 7th. So I'm not sure that the facts that are, or that the statements that are being presented here are factual. That's all I can tell you. I've explained already to Mr. Bell on the same subject what our progress is now, and other than the fact that it is not still, the problems are not still resolved, the encouraging part is that we will have some time now to be able to develop a scope of work and bring a proposal back to the board, and the board can decide how they wish to proceed. Jennifer?